Hi, boys and girls. Today, our learning target is I can draft the end of my narrative by showing, not telling, how I'm feeling. Last week, we drafted the beginning and middle of our personal narrative. Today, we will draft the end of our narrative by showing, not telling, how you and the other characters in the story are feeling. This will make your story sound like a storyteller. We are still in the drafting stage of the writing process. We're still getting all our ideas out. We're writing the ending today. So what do I mean by showing your feelings and not telling? Well, here's a chart to help you kind of give you some of the language to use when writing your personal narrative. So, for example, if in the personal narrative you were happy, you can easily say, I was so happy. That's telling your readers that you were happy. But a good writer, a good storyteller, will show how you were happy. So let's look in the chart where it says happy. You can show it by saying what your character was doing: smiling face, eyes wide open, um, corners of mouth rising to show that they were happy, jumping up and down, laughing, giggling, on cloud nine. Those are all ways that you can write to show that your character was happy. Some other ways here are, instead of saying your character is afraid, you can show it nervous, embarrassed, angry, hot, shocked, tired, cold, shy, sad, and excited. These are all some of the common emotions, and underneath it, I wrote different ways that you can show it. Um, so I'm going to give you an example by writing my ending to my personal narrative. So my ending, you guys already know my beginning, my middle, my ending. I'm going to look, this is my chart, my graphic organizer. My ending says, and I'm going to highlight it here. It says, I called the police. Remember, I was lost. I called the police. I found an old woman who helped us, and I never made it to the lake. Okay, so those were the ending. I called the police. I found an old woman who ended up helping us. So how was I feeling in the end? In the end, I was feeling tired. I remember I was feeling scared, but then I was happy when we found the old woman that helped us. So for me, I wanted to show, instead of saying that I was tired, I said I used my chart here and I said breathing heavily from walking. My feet were hurting and I was yawning at one point. I remember this. How can I show that I was scared? My heart was pounding. And how can I show I was happy? I remember my friend and I, when we saw the old lady, we like jumped up and down. We were like, yes! We were like, hello! We were so happy. So instead of saying, I'm going to show it in my story. So I wrote the ending here. If you guys remember, I already wrote the beginning and the middle. So I'm going to highlight that to show you I already wrote that. Now I'm going to write my ending. So just to remind you what my story is, I'm going to read the whole thing again. Crackle, crunch, snap. The twigs underneath my foot made loud noises as I ran from my tent to fill my backpack with everything I would need for the 7 mile hike. Our campsite smelled like burning wood from the night before. My friend Jessica and I couldn't wait to get to the lake and cool off. Our hike started off peacefully. Our legs moved quickly through the woods as we followed the yellow markers on the trees. These markers let you know which direction to go and keep you on the right path. Then I heard something move in the bushes. I looked closely and saw a baby chipmunk with dark eyes stare back at me. Then we noticed we had been walking for too long. We realized we were not on the same path anymore. We had been walking so long that my feet and legs were hurting. I was hot, thirsty. Oh, this is my ending. I was hot, thirsty, and out of breath. I started to think about how it was almost dusk and we would never find our way back in the dark. My heart began to pound fast and tears filled up in my eyes. We decided to call the police. As we were trying to get a hold of them and giving up hope, we saw a woman from afar walking with her dog. We jumped up and down and let out a big scream. We ran over to the woman and explained our situation. She helped us find our way back to our campsite, and we never made it to the lake. The end, right? That's my story. I don't need to say the end, but it's my story. So that is the ending. So today, you're going to work on the ending. Remember, you're going to have to open up a new tab on Otis so that you can find your graphic organizer that you made a few weeks ago, and so that you can find what else you wrote about the beginning and middle. Okay? How did I show that I was scared, tired, and then happy at the end of my story? What words did I use? Pause the video now and share out by raising your hand or share out in the chat box. If you're doing this independently, share out with someone at home or write it down what I use. I'm going to put it back. Please look at the end. So now we're looking here. I'm going to highlight that red and let me know what ways did I show my feelings, not tell. I'll also go ahead and present this. Okay, now you will be drafting the end of your story by showing, not telling, how you were feeling. Remember, use your personal narrative graphic organizer to remember what you wrote for the ending. Tomorrow we will begin revising our personal narrative. Good luck. Do you know what to do when you get on Otis? If you are unsure what to do, you can watch the video again and pause it to make sure you understand, ask a teacher, or just attempt it and see how well you do. Just don't leave anything blank. Make sure you complete the ending of your story. We can always make it better in the next few days.